My name is Jeanna Wilson. I've been I'm at the University of Georgia, and I've been there more than 30 years and have come up through the ranks, and I'm now a full professor there. Number of years that I've been a PSA member, I joined in 1980 as a master's student. So I'll let you do that math. That I don't know if I like that number, but maybe PSA does. That's a long time member when I sat down to think about it. Grew up right outside of Roanoke, Virginia, in a rural area, Franklin County, Virginia, specifically in the Boone's Mill area. A lot of people probably never heard of that area, but nonetheless, my dad was a beef cattle farmer, and I enjoyed working with the animals. We had horses, pigs. We didn't have any chickens, interestingly enough. Anyway, I grew up immersed in the rural country area. I became a 4-H member in middle school and high school. And that really introduced me to a different side of agriculture. Met a lot of, more broad-based agricultural people, some more on the, plant side and that sort of thing. Still didn't really know, much about poultry at that point. My parents were both very good cooks. So our 4-H leader decided that we'd never had anybody compete in 4-H poultry barbecue. And she said, "Oh, your parents are bound to be able to help you do this." And so it took us about 2 years. You have to have your own recipe and all of that. So that really got me immersed a little bit more in poultry. But that southwestern part of Virginia is not a big poultry area. It's more cattle and dairy. But the 4-H opportunity did provide me, like I say, a broader perspective of agriculture. My dad always looked at it like, well, if you're busy with this, you won't be able to get into trouble. So his plan was to keep me busy, either on the farm or with good, wholesome activities. And 4-H was definitely one for me, which really led me to where I am today, that there's a path there. And you talk to a lot of people that came through 4-H, that's true. It's not just a casual club that you belong to that's fun. It is just an awesome building leadership opportunity, and it's led a lot of people to careers for sure. So I went off to Virginia Tech and was certain that I was going to be a veterinarian, like a lot of the young people I see today. For me, that dream, I wouldn't say was a total negative. It wasn't. It was just that it led me to something that I consider much better, because I realized pretty quickly on in my animal science classes as a freshman that I was more interested in the production side than the disease side. So I started looking around, and, the animal science was just a natural thing for me coming off a cow-calf operation. I couldn't see a clear future there because my parents didn't own a large farm. And as one of my freshman professors said, it's expensive enough. You either have to already own the property or you have to marry it. And I couldn't see a path for me to be, livestock type farmer. So I started looking around, and lo and behold, that fall of my freshman year, I had won an opportunity to go to the National Chicken Barbecuing Contest because of 4-H. And the Poultry Science Department at Virginia Tech actually helped groom us for the Nationals. And I didn't even know Virginia Tech had a Poultry Science Department when I got there. So it opened my eyes to another agricultural group. And through the time I spent with the poultry faculty, I thought this might be a great opportunity. And I remember I had one of those moments in your life where I thought, I'm going to, I'm going to check into this further. And so one afternoon, long before email and texting and all of that, I got on the phone and I started calling a few professors that I knew. And one was Jerry Cherry, who I had met. He was on the faculty at Virginia Tech. And I called and said, I'm contemplating what I want to do with my life. And I'm interested in poultry, but I don't know much about it. Could I come and talk to you? I realize now, and have for many years now, that that's one of those calls that professors love to get. I thought I was bothering him. I went over to his office, and really before the afternoon was over, I was signed up for a freshman level class. I had a part-time job. We were talking about summer internships. So that's how I double majored. Through my 4-H opportunity, having met these faculty, I realized there was a great opportunity there. And really, as the cliche goes, I never looked back. I got the animal science degree for Dad, and I dual majored in poultry for me, and I have never used my animal science skills. I have focused on poultry from that point forward. So to all the professors out there that might hear this, sometimes when you get one of those calls from a student you hardly remember, take the time with them, because it's important. That may be your next recruit. And it certainly was for me. They are our future. I haven't had a huge number of graduate students along the way. The ones I've had, we're very close even today. You want to see them do well. Undergrads, wow, what a great opportunity. I helped teach the advanced production class. There's just nothing like seeing these kids graduate and go do good stuff. They're going to go and live their passion and work in the industry. And it is really a lot of fun. I work very closely with the poultry industry too. And I see these same students. Once they graduate, I get to work with them. Then you use your skills, or you watch them use skills they developed in school to help people, that are farmers. They're trying to make a living, trying to make their mortgage, and it's a very rewarding part of the job. It truly is, to see them get their first opportunity and where they go. I look at some of the students that have come through our department, and wow, they're doing such exciting things, and it's great. It truly is what the job is all about, as far as I'm concerned. I often work with integrators and farmers looking at flock fertility, and a lot of the results that I use, the ideas, the concepts, the theories, come from our research. And again, it's wonderful to see how your research or other people's research is being applied in a real way. That's the real crux of research for me, and application. I can relay one bit of a funny story that happened many years ago now. I had been invited to the West Virginia Poultry Festival to talk to the growers there. And I decided, my parents were still alive, I picked them up in Virginia and took them with me. And I thought, give them a couple of days off the farm. They'll enjoy that. And it was not till I stood up at the podium to speak that it really dawned on me that I had never stood up in front of my parents and talked about semen quality and mating activity. And so it was, it was a little bit funny. But at the same time, I remember thinking, boy, I wonder what the conversation is going to be like when they find out what I really do for a living. So anyway, they laughed. And of course, my dad was really interested, being the real farmer. PSA to me is the place where we all gather. It's where you meet new people. You learn some new things, new skills. You learn about things you want to investigate further I've made some great friends. I get to yearly renew my friendship if I don't see these people very often. It is the place to be if you're a poultry scientist or a poultry professional of any kind. I really encourage my students to join and to keep that membership. To me, it's just a place to be. It is the group to be part of. If you aren't, you're missing out. I think we all have changed because of the pandemic. I definitely think that that's had a huge impact on all of us. I don't think we'll ever work quite the same way again. We were probably on the verge of many of these changes to begin with, to be able to work more remotely. Look at me, this is not my office, but I can work remotely, and really through the pandemic, of course, we've been encouraged to. So the way we work, how we relate to people will be different in the future. There's no doubt about that. Our research work, we've always done a good bit of our research in a more field location, but I think we will always have the on-campus driven facilities and the lab facilities that, can't be touched elsewhere. We need those controlled settings. So I don't think that aspect is going to change too much. Now, how's it affected our industry? Oh, wow. I can't even, I'm just beginning to see little bits and pieces. Talking with the company I was with yesterday, they've lost a lot of money. They've made a lot of money during the pandemic. I mean, it's just so highly variable what they've been through. I think we all hope that the market will settle down a little bit. It is going to take people doing a lot more outside their homes to bring our poultry market back and to stabilize it. My gosh, we've just been through an incredible 6 months. I think we're all hoping that some good parts stick with us and that we can get back to a little bit more normalness in our lives. But long term, no doubt that we are going to definitely see some changes from what we've been through. But again, I hope it's the good parts that are a change for us. The first thing I will say, we're a small family, poultry is, and you should never forget that, because sometimes we allow ourselves to get our feelings hurt or something in our work, and you need to make up and play nice, because we're a small families and you will meet these people again. So I would definitely be conscious of that. On the other side of things, I would tell folks is that we have wonderful people in this association and in the poultry industry. You will have a lot of fun. You will work very hard, but the rewards are there, and take advantage of all the opportunities that are afforded you. I would not be where I am today without a lot of very generous people along the way who, opened doors, who encouraged me. Most of them have been poultry people. One person I have not mentioned is my father never let me know that I couldn't do anything that I wanted to do. And today I see sometimes helicopter parents who are kind of limiting what their kids can do and not do. It's not that I had never failed at anything, but, and that's certainly not true today. I fail and make mistakes every day, but if you don't stretch yourself out some, if the people around you don't encourage you to keep going till you hit that wall, you're not going to accomplish near as much. So for me, like I say, my dad, my mom, but a lot of poultry professionals and teachers, bosses, I've just, like I say, the poultry family has been good to me. for sure. To me, it's very humbling to be named a fellow. It's nothing I ever expected in my wildest dreams. Like I say, I've worked in the organization for a long time, and I just didn't see myself in that group, you know. So it is humbling. It is, you know, one of those moments in your life when you know, okay, I have really done something along the way. I would tell folks everybody ought to strive for it. Like I say, it's not that I didn't think it was very special. I just didn't think I was in that category. So to me, it is a very special award, and I appreciate it from everyone. And all of the congratulations I've gotten in the last few weeks, it's been great. I've enjoyed hearing from everyone. And so, again, it's one of those lifelong awards that you really appreciate.